Hello, hello. It's Matterall from Talking in Stations, doing a little bit of a fun day today instead of a news day. I am traveling someplace, not exactly sure where, and checking out this new jump animation. Check this out. It's going to light up in a different way, a lot more glow. You can see your ship inside and you're jumping through. Not bad. So we'll keep moving there, and I'll try to get my camera up.
Looks pretty. A lot of folks not caring for it though right now.
It seems to be a little faster. That was what was indicated in the patch notes, but I'm not sure.
That last jump appeared to be a little quicker.
Yeah, it shows like it's a little faster. Let me put up bubbles so people can see who's in there with me.
Head towards Jeter anywhere. A lot of traffic. It'd be nice to see how that works. See if it slows down any.
I have an appointment, so I'm on my way to to an appointment. Here we go. Let me get the bubbles in order. There, how's that?
Oh, in chat, THX 1973 is asking, is Brave really broke? To be honest, we've got no independent confirmation on that so far. So, just don't know, have a good answer yet.
So I'll tell you about that in just a second. Let me just get my camera up, and I'll tell you what I know about it, and give you some information. And the answer I think is no, but the that's not for me to say, of course. I don't know. I do know it's authentic. That note, it looks authentic. I can't say it is authentic. It just appears to be. And I don't know what betrayal means. If this is a betrayal of some sort. That's, well, what's that ship coming at me? What's that? And I think Dunk Dinkle will address it tonight. Somewhere he'll find an avenue for it. If we're on, he'll come on, I suppose, or he'll do what he needs to do. But he said he would probably address it later today since it involves him, and that's all I know about it. There is some content about it to go over, but I think the idea is, because I had somebody read it, I couldn't read it today, I was busy, that they had a State of the Alliance for Brave and said one thing, maybe like they were moving to Aquarius, and then this came out after that meeting and was like, oh, we're really hurting, we're demoralized, logistics suck, etc. Just overall a ton of bad news. Whoa, why am I lighting up like that? Something's different. Is it that sun? Wow. And so it contradicts whatever the impression was that was being made for the State of the Alliance. I think that may be what's going on, but I don't know. I pulled it until I from TIS started a big stink, as you know, if you were watching Talking in Stations, the Discord, because I don't want that kind of behavior in TIS where people dance around on your furniture kind of thing. Like, you know, we have a house, it's kind of a clean house, it's nice, people come in, have some tea. I don't want guys coming in and throwing paint on the walls and jumping all over the furniture, celebrating this or that sort of a thing over and over and over and over again. It's fine if there's a mixture of some sort, but I just don't want to see the I don't want to see TIS become too like, I don't know. I just want to get away from what everybody else does, right? That's kind of the bottom line. But anyway, and to answer your question, I'm not exactly sure what the situation with the Brave is. I'm sure it will be addressed soon. I don't know how damaged they are, if anything. All I know from past performance, and this is from past performance as of like yesterday and before, is that they were really steady, more steady than any other group that I'd seen. Not as far as numbers, but as far as participation. So that was remarkable. They didn't go up when the big battles hit, and they didn't go down when the doldrums hit. They were literally just stable. If you look at their numbers during their performance during the war, every week they have just about the same amount of numbers. Makes me think like Brave is actually one guy with alts.
I'm really interested to see what's going on. I just had a friend of mine join up with Brave, their corp, so be interesting
is
to
that
see what's
right?
going on with Brave.
Okay, I may accidentally blow up my machine because every time I work with the camera, it will blow up. So if I disappear, it's because my OBS has locked up my machine. And I will come back right after that.
If you see any sparks or smoke coming from your machine, step away rapidly.
Yeah, jump away. It's the camera gets taken over by competing programs, I think, and then nothing shows up.
I'm super excited lately. I just finally put some more RAM in my computer, and I can run 3 clients with no issues now.
It really changes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's huge.
I did that fairly recently also, and it does make a heck of a difference, that's for sure.
I mean, I couldn't run 3 clients at all, hardly, especially in those big fights. My memory would just go out of control, and it would close all my clients on me.
All right, I think I got it. I'm just gonna hang out here. All right, let's try not to die, because that'll be a big bummer.
I think you're in high tech right now. You'll be all right for a little bit.
I'm capable of dying anywhere. I've got that down.
I do think the jump tunnels are very Star Trek kind of play. That's what it feels like.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't have show notes open. I mean, not show notes, but I don't have the... Oh, we can go over patch notes. Edencom again. Let's try not to die there. I don't have chat open, so I'll check that out. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I'm actually going to pay attention to the jump animation this time.
Yeah, I think I just went to a new region. Oh, what am I doing here? This is dangerous area. I just went to a new region, and it did change colors, which I think is something Fonsui was talking about, where you actually change colors. Okay, let me see here. All right, I finally got notes up. Thank you very much, Wormius. Appreciate that. So, decided to try to do. I wasn't even going to stream because I wanted to just chill out and have an easy day. No more Edencom. But you know, it's just like the real world. Sometimes the day decides what you're going to do.
I've been trying to hide from work all day. They keep calling me and texting me.
Yeah, that warp does seem quicker too, doesn't it?
Yeah. All right. So you guys can see the talk bubbles. It's kind of an open channel today in public. You can jump in if you want. You got to behave though. I shouldn't even have to say that. I won't say that. I'll just trust you guys. Anybody who wants to start trouble should just stay away.
Trust is a dangerous thing, Matterall.
Sure is. We've been lucky, really lucky, that we have such good people around that, you know, everybody kind of respects the place. So I want to keep it that way.
It's interesting. You also, like, the ship position's different each time you take those jump gates. So I think the last one you're on the right side, this time you're on the left side.
Yeah, I wonder if there's something to that, like what direction you're headed on the map. You know, CCP has been known to sneak in some really interesting details like that. Like if you look around, where is it? You see that trail, that dot to dot there, just for briefly. That's actually the stellar positions. I'll just stop for a second. That is actually my path. So my next gate is here, the nearest star. And then I will move here and up here and up here and up here. And that could have just been like just some art, you know, fractal design they did. But no, these are actual coordinates to systems. So that is actually relevant to the map. And as it fades out, you can see that, you know, way over here is like 8 jumps away. This line here is very faded. And that's amazing that they went through the trouble of doing that.
Right, they're color coordinated too, so each color represents what section of sex status it is, right?
I think so, right. So the green would be relatively safe space, and then the yellow gets a little more dangerous, but not too dangerous. And then if it were to get red or orange, then I know I'm going into low sec. And as you can see, this is all high sec. So this is 0.5, the yellow, which is the lowest amount of high sec. And green is anything above 6 or 7. That's kind of interesting. Where am I heading? I won't say till I get there in case people want to intercept me, because I think somebody decided to throw a birthday party for me. So
you may want to hide your route then.
I should.
Find him.
No, I should hide my route, but I'm not going to, because that's just one step too far. And I need it because I don't use the... I guess I could just use this. Because have you noticed that if it used to be that it would default to your next, you know, to the out system, your next system that you were going through, it's not doing that anymore. So if I just hit jump to the next gate up here in the select item, it will actually go backwards. So you'll end up slow boating it to the gate. Thank you, Dragon Teeth. Yeah, it's a bug. I assume it'll get fixed. They already fixed a bug today, even though patch came in yesterday and they already fixed a bug. But I used to be able to hit that.
Good when you, in that select window, every time you jump into the system with your route chosen, you should be able to hit that jump button and go right to the next gate you need to go to.
Yeah, it should put you...
I didn't even notice it wasn't doing that anymore.
It's a bug. It's just after this patch. But it will be fixed. Hey, look, we'll stream if we see that Dinkle is around, we'll try to drag him in here. If we see that somebody that knows something is around, we'll try to drag him in here and try to get you some up-to-date information. Let me see if I can, because the big news today is I'm a little behind. I gotta admit, once the real-life impeachment trial started, I like politics, so I've been watching that closely. I've been doing a lot of family things, and of course I have you know, just real life stuff to do, so I haven't had a lot of extra time to look closely at the news. And from what I saw is there was a State of the Alliance for Brave, like maybe 2 days ago, right? Or a day ago. And then some secret discussion popped out today, and that's what everybody's talking about. So people want to know what's going on.
Well, I think the biggest question right now is, what kind of cake did you get for your birthday?
None. I got.
Do you want to talk about Eve stuff right now, or
I didn't really do. Well, yeah, let's take 10 minutes just because there's 100 people watching, so I want to like give them some information, but I'm not able to say with a lot of accuracy what it is. I'll just tell you what I went through, and that was there was dank leaks that came out, I guess, and I suppressed that until I could get some verification that it was true, because I don't like that kind of stuff unless it's true. And so I wrote Dunk right away and said, hey, this is popping up. And he's like, I can't read that. It's a security setting at work or whatever. So he couldn't read that site. So then I copied it, pasted it into a Google Doc and sent that. And he just said, he'll just deal with Eve when he gets home because he's got real work to do. So I was like, sure. And so at that point, it was going to be a while before anything could be verified if it was true or not. But at the same time, there's a lot of people chomping at the bit to discuss it, and they wanted it out there. So that is something that I was concerned about too. Not, just sitting there on top of it was not a comfortable seat for me. So then I asked somebody to read it and figure out what was in it. And they kind of gave me bullet points. And then I asked some people to look into it. Is it authentic? That sort of thing. And all indications were that it was. And so then I just went back and said, sorry, Dunk, can't wait. I'm going to put it out there. And he's like, go for it. So I put it out there, and then, or I said it's okay to post that sort of thing on TAS. So that's what I went through. And so when I asked somebody to look into it and tell me what was in there, this is what they wrote. And I won't say who it is in case they want anonymity. But let me check. And I'm not sure this is complete, but this was, the play-by-play. So the thing is, it's what do you call it again? It's paste bin of a conversation between Dunk Dinkle and somebody. I don't know who. I think it's a logistics guy, but I'm not sure. And
Shattered Armor, who's their head FC.
Okay, so they're FC. All right. So let's see here. I'm going to stop for a second. I hope I don't get killed on the gate there.
It was at least 3 people in there.
Okay. Something along the lines of, I said, what's it say? Please summarize. It says, Dunk cannot afford to buy keep stars and other structures. Siberian squads have taken systems in Aquarius that Brave is meant to live in. Armor is a Warhawk. Armor is a Warhawk and is trying to mobilize his best men and muster up as many forces as he can. Concerns over morale and discontent over the war. Line members and Alliance Corps unwilling to move out of Catch to Aquarius. Allies TW, RR, warped intentions have been shattered and crushed. Little to no perception. Little to no. Let me just move because I get nervous even in high sec. Little to no preparation for the move. Coffers are drained. Goons unhappy with Dunk. Dunk attempting to spin something out of it. Logistics director is demoralized and fed up, throwing in the towel down. Dunk Dinkle does not see good options. War and CCP have hurt Brave. And I said, is that it? And person said, that's all I can translate. That's all I can translate now. So I think that was it. And that was probably just a first reading. Has anybody read it in this room that has voice?
I've looked at it a little bit.
Well, I don't want to cover it. This isn't us covering it, okay? Because officially we like to actually read it, try to understand it, try to get context for it. And that way when we talk about it, we can tell you what's in it, but then also tell you the things around it. And I just don't have any of that context right now. I don't even know what the state of the alliance was that Brave did before.
Yeah, I listened to that, and basically he said that the main points of the soda were that Dunk was saying that there was going to be a deployment to Aquarius to fight off Siberian squads.
Yeah, well, that was something that we knew about anyway, isn't it? Or is that a new announcement?
I don't know about new, but that's what
Was
I'm hearing as well.
That was new because Siberian.
That was new as of
Siberian
yesterday. The SOTA said that they were going to move to, because I did hear that before. I heard they were going to move, but I thought that was something announced on the State of the Alliance, the SOTA.
Yeah, but Siberian squads wasn't hostile to Brave until this weekend, so this was the first big public announcement where
I don't know if you finished what you were saying, but
oh yeah, sorry, I was paying more attention to fleet comms.
Jack Drakegun says, let me just deal with this criticism here. Let's see. There's a couple here. I think Kermonter says, be more honest like you are when you're slamming the Imperium members. Please be neutral, guys. Okay, I don't know what you mean exactly. But Jack Draken says, so let me get this straight. Normally you guys have the inside on every little stuff, but on one-off, the biggest thing in a while, and you don't have a dip. Didn't even read it. Yes, it's my frickin' birthday. I wasn't even going to stream today. I was taking the day off. I'm watching an impeachment trial all day long, which is more important than the game. So today of all days is the one day I didn't have any idea what is going on in EVE, and yesterday as well. And this is when the stuff erupted. So I'm not a 24-hour news service for you unless you're a Patreon. You can't really make demands. So there you go.
You gotta be on top of these things, Matterall. Come on, man.
Yeah, well,
The news cycle just doesn't stop.
When I have a special channel for Patreons. Whenever they say anything to me, I'm sitting there saying, "You guys sacrifice. I'm here to listen to you." And if they criticize me, I'll take it a little more seriously because they're the ones going further.
But information from my friend, they're pretty chill about it, so I don't think it's a huge craziness going on, at least from that end of it. So we'll see.
Yeah. Also, this is Dunk, so I imagine this when he gets free, he's pretty open and he's pretty honest. He has definitely his slants or whatever that he does. You guys can detect it and call him out if you want, but I have a feeling like he will deal with this before I get a chance to understand exactly what's going on, because I normally deal with this is going to sound arrogant, and I don't mean it that way, but I usually deal with high-level guys, so I don't even know who he's talking to in that thing. So without that context, I have to understand who those people are that are talking, and then I have to understand what they're talking about, what topic, and then I have to I try to understand what's around that. And it's these kinds of things, whenever you get just a dump of text, a lot of people know what's going on there, but I don't always know what's going on. I don't know who's involved. I don't know who those people are. I don't know what the alt is for this person or that sort of thing. Yeah, Dan Cook, thanks. I actually did hear that now earlier in the stream. See, when I think of Brave, their logistic captain was I'm thinking 2015. That's who it's like, oh, isn't that, no. So a lot of my references to the inner workings of Brave are like not that up to date. Because I usually just talk to Dunk. If I need to know something, I ask Dunk and he tells me, or if it's something specific to Kigali, I'll write him, and that's usually who I talk to. So yeah, so and this isn't the case with just this Brave thing. Like, it's happened with any dump where there's like a lot of text. It's not easy for me to decipher. It takes a while. People have to explain it pretty much. That's why I handed it off to other people and said, "Can you guys tell me what's going on here?" Wow, look at that! Look at that jump. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, I really like the new jump drive animations.
Yeah, that one actually, I think Orion called it. I think the ship comes in at different angles each time, which is kind of cool.
Does it appear to be pointing to the next gate?
Yeah, well,
So I haven't seen a lot of realignment.
I think it just sections itself into one side, up, down, or wherever, and tosses you in that same direction. Just cinematic kind of thing, not really directional, I don't think.
You know what? I haven't noticed that, Nick. I'm gonna look this time. Let's see. It might be an alignment here. It just might be fast because I'm in travel mode. Yeah, it looks. You know what? I think the.
Now look at where you're pointing. Now, when you head to the next gate, see if you align. Okay. Yep. There's an alignment. Never mind.
Yeah, there was a little alignment. Yeah, but that would be really interesting, wouldn't it? That you're just always pointed at your next outgate. That would really speed things up, actually. I think that would actually have repercussions beyond that. Hey, Rocket X is in chat. Good to see. So he says, I skimmed through your TLDR, was largely accurate. In general, looks like Brave is worried due to their space and catch being under threat and not having already acquired their allocated post-war space yet. So that makes sense that they're in a crunch because because Quarius is not ready for them and they have to leave catch or something. Makes sense. That would be stressful.
Yeah, to try and relocate while midst of a war. Anytime you're moving an entire alliance, that's a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, and that is
also, it's also doubly bad because Brave are consistently trying to bring in new folks. So you're trying to herd new folks down this path during a major war. Like, it's not an easy task, especially for someone like Brave, I wouldn't imagine. I mean, you can see their logistics guy probably be pretty stressed about everything.
Yeah. So I think this is really good news for the Imperium because they can point to this and say, cracks forming. That's a time-honored thing when you have coalitions. You want to see those coalitions break, and they need that to break. This would be a nice thing for them because Brave always shows up and has, if you look at some of the trend lines of what their participation is as far as PvP, as far as actual PvP players, they're just constant. And if you can diminish that, that's a win for the Imperium, or that is a little closer to even numbers for the Imperium. The Imperium has a defensive advantage. They would welcome even numbers, and they would win a lot more fights with even numbers. Either their skill would put them over or their defensive advantage. But
that's another thing on the gentleman who may or may not be leaving, because I don't know, a logistics leader. The other thing to look at is there's always someone else in Eve to step up and take that spot. So, that may have no impact, or it could be pretty hurtful.
I don't believe that's true. I mean, look at FCs that step down. If Elo Knight leaves, Black Legion isn't a thing. Like, there's not always someone to just step in and fill a role for something like that.
Well, I'm not referring to an FC that is leading the battle, but in the logistics train is usually pretty deep with some solid people, because one guy may be able to be the head of it and the planning, but there's always a core of executors that also know how to plan it. It's a little different. FCs, hats off to them, because I sure as hell can't.
Maybe I'm just not sure. I think goons
Yeah.
probably have a deep group of logistics stuff and whatnot, but in general, the folks that get trusted with a lot of the hiring stuff is very, very thin in a lot of groups. A majority of groups, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, in my alliance, we had a lot of early in the war, a lot of our turnover in our senior logistics guys, but we found we didn't have a huge issue with finding new guys, although the new people were already directors. But yeah, most large alliances do, even if they don't have a huge amount of people trusted with the resources, they do have a good setup for continuity when you need to find some new people.
Okay, I think I made it to the destination system. By the way,
I was just going to ask that. I thought you were there.
I want to point out a special guest, Uncle Thalazar. That is who I was talking about yesterday when I was showing fireworks. I'll try to bring them up on screen and show them again. Passing of a relative, and it was, it's nice to see him, and it's nice that people supported him in EVE Online. Also, when I posted that video, it struck a note with somebody else who lost their mother, I believe, a couple weeks ago, and he really was, I guess, emotional about that yesterday's ending of the show. So it just reinforces how much we're all connected in the game, especially when real life steps in a big way. So it's nice to be able to, I think not Uncle there, but the guy that had responded, I'll just bring up what he wrote. He said something that was, we're going off a little Eve for a second because we want to just celebrate the Eve guys here. But he said that, let me make sure I say this right. Anyway, give me a second to collect this. I wasn't prepared.
While you're prepping that,
Yeah.
Tenuk brings up in chat, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
He says there's a, guy who says he's had to personally fuel everything, says he's out. Everyone pretends there's a line to replace him. Good point. I doubt there's a line to replace him, but there might be a small group that does, in the interim. So is it painful? Absolutely. I wouldn't pretend it's not. Do I think it's a death knell? No, not really.
Is that your phone? Okay, here it is.
Yeah, one of my granddaughters just got her driver's license, so I'm like, oh my god, not another one.
Oh, that's a scary thought, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm glad she said this one's in a different state.
All right, let me bring up just so I can start showing some web browser. Okay. Oh no, that's not what I had in mind. I'll just read it. So this guy is the Sindara, and he says, wow, the ending of the show hit me pretty hard. I lost my mum, MUM, 2 months ago. Eve was the only place I had to go to escape from the nightmare and to find support. I didn't really have anyone to tell. So I told the people in Rookie Help, of all chat of all places, and several people have been messaging me ever since. The support from the community was awesome. I anchored a container in Malaya too, just like I did 2 years ago when my best friend died. Yikes. Those containers mean the world to me. a little container floating somewhere in a quiet system in a pew pew spaceship game. But yeah, more than just a container, more than just a game. Then the talk of Matterall's birthday. My mom died on my birthday, he says. I remember that birthday excitement being replaced by sadness and grief. I still have the birthday card she never got a chance to write in. Still in its shrink wrap. Still with the price label on. Eve continues to be a place I can go to escape and to be at peace for a while. It's more than just a game. And I was blown away by the clarity and the ordinariness of it's the stillness of moment that he writes when he wrote this description out. And I think, that we all go through that sort of thing when we lose somebody so profound, like a parent. It's just super, super, hits you in a really deep place. So that was a really nice comment from someone to share that. And it was nice for Uncle Thalzar to share that as well. Talking in Stations, we put out a lot of content, and we have for 5 years. So we get a lot of people that kind of offer up, usually it's appreciation, and they say thanks for just being there and, being someplace that I could go to get away from things and to find some stillness and solace and that sort of thing. But better than that, it's a community of people who care genuinely about you. And I think I'm completely unartful when it comes to talking about these heavy subjects because I'm at a loss for words. But it is really nice that Uncle Thalzar there had people that he could talk to in Eve, and same thing with the guy who posted the Sindara is his name, and it's Rix Javix just lost a parent, and so it's really good that people have a place to go to that is understanding of that sort of thing and welcoming and supportive. I mean, that's the bottom line. I think it's supportive. Yeah, you have permission to speak. Is that you, Uncle Thalzar? Are you in this chat?
Yeah, he is. Hey, Thalzar.
Is that you? Are you in this chat? Go ahead. We're streaming. Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm muting the actual stream on my other PC, so I'm not echoing and causing issues. But I just wanted to mention a couple things about what you're talking about. And first off, it meant so much to me that you shared that and you put that fireworks show up. And hearing that other people are going through the same thing, it always makes you feel better to know you're not alone. And you're very good at sharing, just like bringing the Eve world together, where we can all talk and listen and, talk smack some, of course, because that's what we do. We're an Eve. But we always, as mentioned in chat there, we always come together when it's needed. And I'm disabled real life, so sitting on a computer is about all I get to do. And in Eve, I can build things and help people, and that's something that I need and makes life a lot better for me. And the people in Eve are the reason I stay, the reason I keep playing. And the other thing I'm gonna say is, don't be afraid to reach out, guys, if you need to. Broadcast for Reps is always there, and it has quite literally saved my life on more than one occasion. So don't be ashamed if you're down. It's okay. You're allowed to be sad. You're allowed to be depressed. Just reach out when you need help for it.
Oh, thank you, Salazar. And thanks for being a good example of that too. As you can see it.
Happy level update, Matterall.
Thank you. Yes, it's a bittersweet Matterall birthday today, dealing with heavy grief, with political turmoil, in-game, out of game, and all kinds of stuff. But I'm glad you're here. Salazar, and I'm glad you guys are here watching. And if you're watching the VOD, I'm glad you're watching the VOD or listening to the podcast version of this. Like, it's great. Yeah. Much love and respect to you guys as well. Thank you. Okay. To you guys as well. Thank you. Can hear the delay. Okay. Thanks, Salazar, and feel free to hang out here if you want. I came to this system here, Genicella, because I believe there's like a little party that somebody was throwing, and I want to see if it's actually happening. Have you ever, like, I don't know if you've ever experienced this. I did in college a couple times where somebody says, I know of a great party, let's go. And I went to school in like Santa Cruz. And so this guy's like, I'm going to a great party in Stanford, but I don't have a car. Can you drive me there? And I thought, yeah, I'll go party in Stanford. Why not? And he's like, cool. I know like an Olympic swimmer there or some thing. And I was like, all right, I'm sold. Let's go. And so get into the car, drive for, I don't know how long. It wasn't actually very long. It was like an hour or less. We get there and everybody's asleep. And I'm like, dude, there's no party. And he's like, oh yeah, I think I got the wrong day. Do you want to just hang out with my friend? So that's what this feels like, because I came to this party and like everybody's asleep because I haven't contacted the person that was throwing it yet. But
how many in local?
Oh, I'm sure there are people here. Let's see. They're probably trying to talk too, and I'm not paying attention. So, oh no, is it? Oh, it's not just me here. Let's see.
They're waiting on a gate camp for you. Here, come through this dead space gate. Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah, just right over here, mister. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It gave me something to do and a reason to hang out. But I'm gonna bop around and let's.
Warp drive active.
I don't know. Have you guys ever gone to a party and the party just wasn't like happening?
I was usually by myself, though.
Am I the only one? Yeah. There have been variations of that and stuff. Yeah, normally I don't make a big deal out of my birthday. For some reason, this time I felt like, you know what? I'm going to say it's my birthday, and I hope people don't use that information to stalk me, but I don't care today for some reason. Let's just move around this one. All right, let's get back into some politics. What's going on? There it goes. Hey, what's up? All right, you guys know also there was patch notes today. What'd you guys think of those patch notes? We talked about them yesterday, but it was more detailed today. The actual notes came out today. Anyone read them?
I did not. I popped on right when I got home from work, so I haven't had a chance to see much of anything yet.
Yeah, let me see. Again, I took today off, so let's see.
I saw the what do you call it? The deal with being able to put your rewards straight to your home station.
Yes, that seems to be a big one for people.
It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, people have found the daily rewards rather inconvenient. I mean, I've used the daily rewards a little bit to build a few ships to sell in Pappy's staging system, but because of how they work, a lot of people find them too inconvenient to do anything with.
Here it is, 19.01 patch notes. Let's see if I can get those on screen. And I'll put them here. How about that? Let me just see what is going on here. Oh no, that doesn't work. Let me try that again.
Is this the part where your computer catches fire?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I've had those days. Let me check up on chat here. What are they saying? It's too far away to read.
Well, Dragon's Teeth one says, wait, there's more patch notes. I think it's just more clarification and detail on what came out earlier.
Yeah, it didn't seem like today's patch notes were any big new thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a detailed version of what we talked about yesterday, but let's see why that didn't work out. And I'll try to get there we go.
Yeah, Dragon's Teeth again brings up, goes, yeah, it's not very sexy for how long it took. Yeah, you know, you gotta give the folks up in Iceland a break. There was their holiday season too.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I talked. Somebody was saying that. Here we go. I'll put some notes up. I like this. So let's see. Looking at this part here, and it's the first thing they talk about is graphics update, right? So I'll just read it. Updated ships with maintenance bays with specific undock points for launcher spacecraft. The new jump gate, Sino, and abyssal travel animations. It's basically all of that jump tunnel that you jump through when you transition or session change from one system to another. Made a substantial improvements after being taken back into incubation. That's their way of saying, it's kind of a neat way of saying it, but they put it out. It wasn't what they wanted. I think it slowed people down. I think they weren't able to get into, they were maybe not able to get into combat as fast as they used to be, and it just wasn't fast enough. So they took it back and they re-incubated it, I guess. And that means they retooled it. So then they put it back out, and I was just noticing that we were jumping pretty fast, weren't we? Seemed like we were moving a little bit faster. The animation itself is what you were watching earlier, and that is you could see your ship going through it, but they did more than that. You could see that the gate now glows. It has this big glow when you're jumping through it. And when you're going through it, your ship is coming in at one angle or another. It seems to change. I don't know if there's a pattern to the change, but it's not the same animation over and over and over again. It's different each time, which is kind of nice. But here's what was interesting to me. I believe this is speed. This might be seconds here on the y-axis. Oh, cool. Contract. Oh, nice. I'll be there in 1 second to accept a gift. So I think it's actually faster because if you look at old jump, right, which is in this area, these bars are a lot higher. So higher is probably worse than these are. So it actually sped things up a little bit. And these are the different jump tunnels. So known space, K is for known space, K space, known space. Jump drive would be jumping to a beacon. And abyssal, K-space to abyssal transitions are in gray. And then abyssal to abyssal transitions, those are in yellow there. The needlejack filaments, when you jump through needlejacks. And so I think it's pretty interesting. They're a little bit faster. It looks like they're, I want to say, about 2 seconds faster, or the equivalent. So what was a 17-second jump now takes more like 15 seconds. So pretty interesting. Don't mind that, because that's just kind of dead time a lot of times. Yeah, then they talk about introducing the tool to discover and find fleets in New Eden. We talked about that yesterday, and I didn't see anything here. One of our contentions was new player friendly setting for fleets. Is that going to be a way of scamming people into joining stuff they shouldn't? And are you going to murderize these new guys, et cetera, et cetera? And it just really depends on people's behavior. If it becomes a problem, CCP will probably make griefing new players come with some kind of a cost in some way. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have comments on the, let's see what else. Home station, this is the one that you like, right?
Yeah, I've actually found that quite convenient. To drop things into a home station as opposed to wherever the heck I happen to be.
Yeah, let's check that out. New Eden is a vast universe that can feel daunting, especially for new players. I'm going to agree with you, CCP. When I first joined this game, I was like a cat. When you get a new cat, you have to not let it run all over the house because it'll freak out. So you have to put it in a box first, let it get used to its surroundings and kind of sniff around and see what's going on. And then the bathtub, and then the bathroom, and then the bathroom plus a room, and then, maybe the whole house. But you slowly grow their roaming space so that they become more comfortable as they venture out. And they always have that little box to run back to if they get scared. And I think when I came into Eve, that was kind of how I felt. Somebody said, oh, you need to go to the market. You need to go to Jita. And I was like, well, how far is Jita? 17 jumps. And I thought, I haven't been more than 4 jumps away from my home. I keep wanting to come home. And it's interesting that now, 12 years later, home seems a little more identifiable and important. So when CCP says New Eden is a vast universe that can feel daunting, especially for new players, I'm going to agree with them. So I'm glad they did that.
Not only just new players, but even some of the longer term players that have multiple accounts or multiple characters, sharing a home station, is really beneficial also, because you get scattered out quite quickly when you have a number of characters.
Right. So remove the cost of setting a home station. Fine. I think it was like 900,000 before that. You can now set your home station without a clone-based service, even while in space. That was, of course, you had to park sometimes to set a home station. Though the 1-year remote restriction still applies. Okay. So let me try to describe that. First of all, once a year, you get a chance to designate any station your home station. And you can... the reason they did that is they didn't want people using that free-flowing designation to basically avoid traveling to a place. I think you still have to have been there before. I don't think you can just pick any place on the map and say that's where I'm going. I think you have to have traveled there so it's known to you. But anyway, you can only do that once per year, so you got to save that. But what you can do now is set your home station, even if it doesn't have a clone bay. I think that's a rule they changed, and then they changed back because it was unpopular. And this is the new part here. Even while in space. Before, you couldn't set your home station unless you were parked. And that must have been a technical limitation, but yeah. So that's new. Okay. Let's see. Add a new home station tab to the character section of your character sheet. Shall we have a look at that? The character section
pull it
is
up.
here. And here it is, home station. It's the second tab. So there it is. Let me move this out of the way here so you can see it. That's what it looks like. So I'm not docked right now, and I can still set a home station, which is nice. The self-destruct clone, I think this was a problem. People couldn't find it anymore. But it looks like if you're parked, you can still self-destruct. You just have to go to your character sheet, to your home station to do it, apparently. If you guys have better information, let me know. Okay. Let's go back to... read a bit more. Updated home station icon on the character sheet and the map. Oh, I don't know what the icon is. I guess this must be it here because I don't remember that. I should say here. So Hophib is my home. I think I was running cameras out of Hophib when the fountain portion of the fight was happening. What I'm interested in looking at is the map. Let's bring that up. I got a lot of stuff on top. I'll be right back for this stuff. And I'm going to zoom out and I should see home in the fountain area, the Hophib area, which is way over here. So you, you see that thing? Let me hide this 1 second.
Yeah, it's way over in Iridia.
Yeah, yeah. So that's cool. So I'm over here, right? Like, I'm way over here. And if I back out and I lost track of where my home is, it'll sing out to me. That's really bright. I mean, that you will not miss where your home system is with that. So it's actually graphically glowing, and it's a little, it looks like a map marker, or I forget what those are called, but that works pretty well.
It's called a supernova.
Can I do anything if I touch this thing? No, it's just simply a marker to show you where you're at. I think if you zoom in, yikes. Boy, that's not helpful. If you zoom in and touch it, you're able to do, you know, set destination and stuff. But that marker itself does nothing of the sort. So, but right below it is the home system. So all it does is really point you to where you want to go. And I am here. And again, that doesn't really have any special features, but it does light up the system that I'm in. And that's where you can maneuver stuff. Interesting. Okay, so a little bit more here. Okay, user interface. Oh, planetary production, and has been changed to planetary industry. So PI is now PI. It is planetary industry, not planetary interaction. So that just makes so much more sense, right? Planetary industry, but you can still call it PI. I never know what this whole PP planetary production thing was. I never ever heard of it being called planetary production at all. So modified camera motion for players with the space mouse peripherals with associated settings now appearing in the escape menu. That might be important for me because I believe I have, let's see, I believe I have a 3D mouse here. Close that map. All right, this is my mouse that I'm using, but this is, yeah, this is the 3D mouse. As you can see, I'm a fairly bad driver. I think it's upside down, that's why. I don't know. This is embarrassing. Let's actually look at something. Thank you. Yeah, it works. It's just I don't know how to drive it very well, but this is what Ron USMC uses, and he does a very good job. There you go. I'm drifting quite a bit. Uh-oh. Yeah. Well, anyway, so that might have some additional controls that I don't know about. We'll see. Yeah, absolutely. Ron USMC needs to teach TIS how to use that 3D mouse. We'll see what's going on. Okay, I'm going to now do a little bit of celebrating. And I was invited here by, let's see, by Rex. Sorry, I'm a bad guest. Let's say, just waiting. All right, so there's a little, what is it? Whoa, that's interesting. I didn't see that before, but right here is where you redeem to home station. I think this is the big deal, actually. We talked about it, but we didn't ever show it. As you can see, your current station, I'm undocked, so there's no current station. That's why it's grayed out. But literally you have redeem my stuff here to home station. This is good for people who are out roaming. You don't have to go home, park, drop your stuff off, that sort of thing. And that is the big deal. Let's see, I'll go orbit, hang out with this guy. Nice. Oh, okay. There was something here. Contract. Contracts are under finance, under contracts. I think this might be it. Oh, a precursor destroyer skill book, a precursor frigate, and a Kikamura blueprint. Thank you. That's really nice. And it's in Jita, so I don't have to carry it home. Thank you. That is a gift. I'll take it. From Malcor Rex. Everyone, you guys know him. He's in the audience quite a bit, and that is really cool. Thank you. Very nice. I don't know who that is, but nice ship. All right. I think that's it. I was going to shoot some fireworks here and stuff. Was there any questions you guys had today? We can go over the stuff we went over earlier in the stream since everyone was here. Otherwise, you guys are just hanging out. Or what I can do is actually give you over to someone who's doing a little more action, like Aras Porcelius. He is a small gang guy, so. Oh, it wants me to show? I think I did show, didn't I? Or did I not do that right? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure where that went, but thank you. And I'll talk about it tomorrow when I get it all sorted out and stuff. Thank you guys for hanging out. I will, let's see, is Rain, are you going to stream? If you're going to stream, I'll raid you here. again, you guys have any questions? If not, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you guys for the stream, and thank you guys for hanging out inside of chat. Nick, thanks. What I think I'm going to do actually today is go back, look over our Discord chat, and see if I'm going to become a hardliner, because I wanted to do a birthday massacre in TIS Discord today, where I throw out everybody that's just annoying and leave only people that are not annoying. Because I'm not going to put up with being contaminated by people who really want, Reddit or whatever else. Like, just not going to put up with it anymore. I put up with it for a long time. I just want you guys gone. I don't care if I lose half the server. I just want a place where people who like Eve hang out, talk civilized among themselves. And that's what I'm aiming for. I haven't decided to do it, but I'm awfully close. Probably closer than I ever have been.
Just like making a naughty and nice list.
Yeah, literally Santa Claus. Like, you get presents, you don't, and I don't want it. I don't want. And nobody's immune. I mean, I'm gonna throw out some celebrities. I'm gonna make them first. Like, I'm ready to go. Because when, like, if you go back to the beginning of the show and we talk about like that beautiful comment that guy wrote that lost his mother, and then we talk about Thalzar, that I think that lost his father, and I just feel like, you know what, that is so beautiful. I've got no time for you other guys. Like, seriously, go somewhere else. I've got no time for you, when I could be hanging out with people that are sensitive like that, that understand the importance of like having a place to go and having that feeling of somebody holding you up, when you're having a bad time in life. Like, I have no time for your games if you're here to win points, score points for your tribe or that sort of thing. Like, zero time. And it's about time that Talking in Stations didn't care about being big or getting ratings or any of that stuff, because we already know who the quality people are. Now, I've already done this in our real life channels. Like, our politics channel is now it's open so people can read it. So you're not kicked away. You can still read it, and you can still, but in order to talk in our politics channel now, you have to be understood to be a good contributor, the kind of contributor that we want. And that just means that you're a normal person, right? Like, you're not there to play games. You're not a bad faith arguer, and you don't just put filler up all the time. And if you can handle that, then you have like a write permission. Otherwise, you just have a read permission. And I feel like the entire Discord could kind of benefit from that, right? Because this is a call. It's my birthday, and this is be a present for me. That if you want to play around and be a tribalist and all that stuff inside of Talking in Stations, give me a present and go away. That would be great. I have no time for it, and I'm so happy to hear from the ordinary moment of stillness that is so meaningful. And we see that in that, like, that tenderness that people have shared with us. Like, I am 100% committed to people like that, and I want to save this space for those guys. That's what I want to do. Yeah, you guys here that watch and hang out and give information and that sort of stuff, you're all what I'm talking about. You're the ones that keep me coming back, keep this whole place going and stuff. It's just a lot of people like to play games, and in this world where it is so economical to give everybody your one thought every second that you have a thought, that is a high price to pay for everybody else that has to read through it. So a long time ago, communication used to be something that took you a long time to even have the capacity to do in a written form. I'll finish my example in a second, but I want to read Dan Cook, where he says, I do want to say that I appreciate the fact that you sat on the Brave information to fact check it before it was just being out and tossed around. Thank you, Dan Cook. And the reason I did that is we have a rule that says you can't call people out. You can't basically like plaster humiliation and say, hey, Naros, check this out. Like, we don't allow that. We don't allow call outs. And this was very close to that level of like, boom. And I appreciate, you know, a scoop. I appreciate that sort of a thing. But a scoop is one thing, but lighting a fire and dancing around it, that just has a feeling that it's something else. And I don't want to deal with that kind of stuff. So that's that. So what I was saying was communication has become the burden of the listener in our age because the communication connection is so quick, right? You can tweet, boom, I just had a thought. Now it's your problem. That thought is now your problem, not mine. But it didn't used to be that way. You used to have to write out letters, and it took good penmanship. And if you go back to, you know, 300 years ago, that letter had to travel in a physical way, on horses, on carriages. It took a long time to get to the reader. So when the reader opened it, there was a ton of pleasure reading that kind of a letter because it had a lot of care had gone into it. A lot of time barrier was there. And so it was all pleasure for the reader, and it was a lot of work and investment by the writer. And that's totally flipped. Now we have people that can just write every single thought they have, every emotion they feel, can just blast it out there. They can literally go back and forth. Just sometimes people aren't even really communicating. They're really just like, you know, mixing it up. And the burden is on the reader. So I want to read about EVE Online, and I come in, and these two guys are wrestling about who knows what. And that's not productive. And then you see, you know, tribal gangs trying to parade around each other, and that's not, you know, not interesting. That's entertainment, but that's not really That's not really interesting. It's not really what we want. But whatever. You guys know it when you see it, and I do too. And I don't know. I'm thinking about it. It would be a present to myself to like to basically do another round of cleaning up, and I just may do it, and nobody would be immune. But at the same time, we're open to anybody on any side of any part of gameplay that wants to be civilized and hang out and exchange ideas and kind of be more of a supportive environment rather than one where combat is extended into the text medium. No interest in that. None. All right. Nick, you're a model citizen.
Well, I don't know about that, but I appreciate it.
We want 1,000 Nicks. Die by 1,000 Nicks.
God, that would be boring as hell.
Yeah.
I were opposed to super capital proliferation. Now you want 1,000 Nicks?
Yeah, totally.
Don't laugh. My Knicks used to be named Knicks.
Yeah. Oh, the daily newspaper thing. Okay, so Driveway says, I enjoy the daily newspaper. Cool to log in to read about what's going on in EVE outside my little bubble. That's great. It's especially made for Driveway. It's made for you, and it's made for people like you that want just a little bit of news. Not a whole, like, you know, link fest without explanation or anything like that. It's digested so that when you read it, it's made for you so that you can understand what's going on without having to know all the backstory. So that's exactly what that paper is for. We have over 1,000 people on it now, and it's growing still. But if you want to refer that to other players inside the game, that would be great. Because what we're trying to do is, instead of luring people out of EVE Online to news sites or whatever, we want to actually put the news in context of the game. So when they arrive into the game, they have a little newspaper, and it has references to systems that we talk about, to people that we talk about, and they can click it and say, show me on the map. And it's all inside the game. And I feel like that's a much better, whoa. Oh, thank you, Nick. That's nice. I feel like bringing the news inside the game for people can keep them in the game. And for people who aren't involved in all the nullsec politics and all the stuff that goes on, that it just feels like it's more, more accessible, so you can get your head around it. Because I think that's a big deal. My favorite part of EVE Online is feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I like to know that big things are happening. I don't necessarily want to be a part of them, but I like to know that they're out there. But I don't have time to like really suffer all the bad communication just to get that information. Thanks, Nick. Super generous. All right, let me see if there's a couple more comments before I take off. Oh, there's another contract. I'm not fundraising. I appreciate you guys all equally. Hey, spiced wine. I love that. That's awesome. Thank you. That is hilarious. Somebody sent me exotic dancer male exotic dancer the other day, which is really funny because I was talking about grinder, I think it was. Eve needs a grinder. I probably meant the other one, but they're all the same to me.
We need a groan emoji.
Yeah, I guess we should make that. Let's see. Convict teacher. I don't know if I like that that combo, but that's the name. Healthy trash talk is amazingly fun, but people get ugly and it's not fun. I think humor is fun, and sometimes trash talk is great between people who have a bond that trust each other, kind of thing. But it very quickly shows other people what the environment's like, and then they jump in, and it just becomes a nuclear bomb of a fusion reactor of trolliness. All right, thanks, guys. I think that's all. I want to say thank you, guys. Thank Nick. That's very nice of you for those subs you gave people. And is it Malco Rex? Thanks for the gifts. Appreciate it. Thanks for bringing me over here. It was fun to do a little traveling. And I will see you guys tomorrow when I am no longer celebrating my birthday. All right, take care, guys.